What's up, guys?
Hey, what's going on, guys?
So it's Mike and Janine from Downright Random,
Yes.
and we welcome you back. We had a little bit of a hiatus. We've been, if you've been trying to,
I guess
wait
follow
for
us. Yeah, wait for our podcast because we said we were gonna do Monday, Wednesday, Friday. We were in the middle of moving and kind of just
everywhere.
doing a lot of different things, and so we were trying to get up. I think we were trying to start something new with the podcast and also try to finish some other stuff. So it just kind of like we kind of had to weigh which one was needed to get done.
Yeah.
First. Not like this is less important, but we just had to kind of figure out which one had to be attended to.
When we were recording some, we thought we had enough in some things, and then we were doing more things and we just ran out of time. But hopefully from this point on, we'll be doing it on our regular schedule of Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then some other videos that we hope to get
like
up.
our bonus ones.
Yep.
Which we have we may possibly have a bonus one up this week. Like we said, we're gonna do some like around the town videos or whatever, and so we'll have some bonus ones. But just check our YouTube channel, and our Instagram. So
most definitely. And so, anyways, guys, but we appreciate you for coming back. And enjoying the podcast because we know that you've been enjoying it if you keep coming back, right?
Yes.
So keep enjoying it.
Or you're just torturing yourself. No, I'm just kidding.
Hopefully not that they're hopefully not doing that.
No.
But anyways, we've been talking about different things on what we want to talk about in future things. And I know most of us we've been talking about that it's mostly random. But I think when we've been talking about stuff, it's one of those things that we have like a main topic that we start with.
Definitely.
And then the rest of the conversation seems to be completely
random. We kind of just
random.
let it go wherever
just
it wants to go.
Yeah. So we've been talking a lot of different stuff lately. But is there anything that you were wanting to bring up?
Well, we were saying that we wanted to talk about like ghost stories because we were watching one because we were talking about the video about deja vu. And also our niece mentioned something about we're kind of like overlap with deja vu and like with ghosts and stuff like that, the way she was kind of interpreting things.
She was kind of meaning it that she was like that deja vu is something you can't explain.
Okay.
And she can't explain ghosts, and that's how she was kind of putting the two together. But I did pose some questions to her that I thought were kind of interesting, that like with deja vu, since it's something that's been the feeling of repeating something over again or having an experience that you've done before, that like ghosts, there's multiple different types of ghosts out there apparently, that one of the versions of the ghosts is that they are in a loop and they repeat what they did in their former life. So it's one of those things that do ghosts would if that's the case, do ghosts like have their own form of deja vu? Like do they do when they come back and then they do that thing? They're like, man, I thought I did this before, and then they disappear, and then they come back 15 minutes. Man, I thought that I did this before.
So I guess we could start from let's start from saying, what do you think about ghosts, and then we'll go into like the whole theories of like ghosts, and because you're looking at it from like, because you don't really like, how do you feel about ghosts? I don't want to speak for you.
I mean, I don't believe in ghosts. I love the thought of ghosts. And I like ghost stories. I like people telling me like ghost stories and hearing them and stuff like that. And I like reading like books about ghosts and stuff like that. I think the topic is interesting, but I don't believe that ghosts exist, if you want to bring it like that.
Okay.
I know it's one of those things that I feel that there's so many different types of views that people have on ghosts. And it's one of those things that who's right kind of situation. But me personally, I enjoy the stories.
Yeah. Now, do you think that, and I'll get to how, like what I feel about ghosts in a second, but do you think that it's not really ghosts, but it's like people going into like different like universes, like dimensions or something?
See, but again, the whole thing about it is I don't believe that at all. Okay. I don't believe that when we die, we turn and we have spirits and things like that. I think when we die, we are in the ground. But I know some people think that ghosts are a different dimension, like, or they're trapped here on Earth and going between, like, you know, heaven and hell, or wherever purgatory is, or, you know, wherever they go, that you believe that they go, that they're stuck here. But I know I've watched movies, and there was one I don't remember. I'm trying to remember the name of it, but it was very interesting that the people had seen ghosts like years ago, or no.
I think it was that documentary you're watching with that guy, with the person that was talking about the person sitting on the couch.
They said that their grandmother, like years ago, had seen two ghosts in her living room, and
it was two men.
Yeah, two men, and she couldn't explain it. She didn't know who they were, and then years later, the two men were like back in the house, and they were ghost hunting, and they saw their grandmother. And they were like, holy crap, because they thought it was like a dimensional shift or whatever, that she was seeing into the future because of the dimension, and they were seeing into the past. And that's what they thought. So technically, that's not really a ghost either, because that's just like time travel, a form of time travel if there's like a rift, but it's not a ghost.
If we remember what the movie was, we'll link it.
Yeah, I'll try to remember it. But I watch a lot of documentaries and stuff like that just because it's fun, and most of them are just just garbage.
I mean, I think out of that whole documentary, that was probably the most interesting thing.
Yeah.
But because it didn't really, it was like you said, it was more like time travel thing. It wasn't really
But again, someone would see that as a ghost.
As a ghost, yeah.
And that's what they think it is.
Oh, yeah.
Instead of just thinking that it's just a form of seeing into the future, seeing into the past.
Yeah.
So is that really a ghost? Do you think that would be a ghost?
I don't think that. I think that's your spirit traveling someplace else.
Right.
It's the same thing like when people say like sometimes when you feel like you're like falling in your sleep or something like that, that's like your spirit trying to escape your body. I think that sometimes that's possible and your spirit goes other places, but you're not necessarily dead.
Yeah.
Your spirit is just going other places. And I think that's kind of what that is.
But with some of that, like let's just say that you go into like an old hotel, right? And you see someone with like the
back in the day clothing
and stuff like that. Are you looking into the past, or are you actually seeing a ghost? Like that was my question. Like
it's I don't know. It's possible. It can be a combination of two. Maybe like, sometimes there are ghosts, and then sometimes.
Well, I guess my next question: do you believe in time travel?
I kind of do. I kind of do. So I believe in ghosts because I've seen ghosts. I'll just say that too. And I do kind of believe in time travel.
I believe in time travel.
And I think there are other dimensions.
In the way that like, not like Back to the Future.
No. Not like you go in a car and all of a sudden, right. I don't know. I think it's more of like you mentally are going someplace, or you're spiritually going someplace else. That's what I think.
See, and my form of time travel is very, I guess, more scientific.
Okay.
Because like, for instance, if you are... Okay, for the simplest reason, if you're like out in space, you travel at a different speed than someone on Earth. So the way that you age technically is not the same of people on Earth. So when you come back, you're technically time traveling because of how the whole like spinning of the Earth and days and all that other stuff works.
Okay,
but not like going through like a time rift or something that's that you walk through or see something like that.
So we're going to talk about a couple of different things, like as far as like time traveling and dimensions. So going back to the ghost thing, I do believe ghosts are real. I do see what you're saying though, like could it be a time travel thing? But I also think that there are some ghosts that don't know that they're dead, and it's not that they're doing a loop. They're just still there. But they don't know that that they died.
Well, okay,
already.
so you have let's just see.
Then I do think that some of them do know.
Yeah, so you have, what are the different kinds of spirits? You have the ones that are stuck in the like a loop or a timeline, or they're doing something. I can't remember what that's called.
I'm not sure, and we can always look it up and kind of.
But then you have like intelligent hauntings, which is what like some of the ghost hunters are trying to do, to like interact with them
and talk to them
and get them to respond back, which. Even though I like those shows, I don't hear
think what they say. The ghosts, they're like, and they're like, oh my god, they said jelly bean, like, and it's like I don't hear jelly bean, I hear, and it's just like they're like, oh my gosh, it was a jelly bean factory. It was, oh my god. It's like, are you saying that because that's what you want to hear?
Yeah.
I don't think it really. The experiences that I've had, it was never like that kind of. Like they repeat the same thing. I've never used like one of those things.
Maybe that's the problem. You haven't used one like all those equipment and stuff like that. Yeah. So maybe we need to go ghost hunting and then we can capture it.
Okay, so if I go ghost hunting, I will have to light every incense after and then make sure that I don't take anything from that place because I would be afraid that something would follow me back.
It'd be like,
yeah, I'd be afraid.
Get out.
For it. I'm like, okay, I got the point. I'm leaving. I'm out. You don't have to tell me twice. Like that's another thing. Once something is like being aggressive, that's not something you want to talk to. So I don't feel
so here's my dilemma with some of this. I don't like you watch all the movies and the shows and they have a certain like feeling for them. But it's what's funny to me is that a lot of these shows they're like always a skeptic.
Yeah.
But then always something like touches them.
Like you.
But never always something touches them.
And I think that would happen.
And then it's like, oh, I believe now. No, I don't think anything would touch me because I don't think anything is there.
Okay. They're there and I've seen them around you before, but some people don't experience certain things like that. And it's interesting. Some people say that if they've had like a near death experience or just they're just more sensitive to it, they see things.
Yeah.
I don't know if I had a near death experience, but I had like the thing that happened when I was in Georgia. I was playing on the top of a staircase. I was at my aunt and uncle's house and I fell over the staircase because I was looking for my aunt. And I fell over the staircase, passed out, bleeding from the ears. Ambulance had to be called and everything. I don't know. I don't think it was a near-death experience, but it was a pretty traumatic experience.
Right.
And so, I don't know. Maybe that could be the reason why I'm more sensitive to it. But at the same time, my mom is sensitive to it. My grandmother is sensitive to it. So I don't know is that something that you inherit? I have no idea.
I don't know.
But I feel like sometimes I can actually see them, and sometimes I just feel it.
Right.
And so I don't think that you have that. And it's nothing bad. I'm not saying anything like, but I've seen things and felt things and you're sitting right there and it's just like, it doesn't faze you, and I've been afraid of some things. Like I know when something is like a bad feeling or whatever. And there's been times when I've been around things that really, really scared me. But then there's other times and I know that they're present, but they don't really bother me. But I think it's also because I kind of respect that maybe they are stuck someplace or they have a message or something. Sometimes that's the key, that they have a message. It's kind of like in The Sixth Sense, when it was like once he started listening to them, even though they were really scary, but it was because they had a message to tell him. And obviously that's going to be drama. That was very dramatic in that movie. But sometimes there's a message and sometimes that's like their last thing that they have to do. And then they can go peacefully.
So...
I'm not Haley Joel. I know you were gonna say that. No, but I think that's the case, and I think some of them, they don't have a message. They're just probably, like you said, like they're stuck in a loop, and there's nothing you can really do about it. Like you can see them doing things, but you just let them be.
Yeah,
because it's not like but. I know you're looking at me like I'm like...
No, I'm listening to you. Like, I feel like we go over this all the time. I'm looking at you and you're like, why are you looking at me? Because we're having a conversation.
Okay, so I'll give you a couple examples of things that I've seen, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, I'll tell you about the time that me and my best friend were actually at her aunt's house and we were about to go to sleep. And I think her aunt was I don't know if she told us there was a little boy that lived there before, in the house, but he was he wasn't being treated that well, whatever. So we fell asleep, and then all of a sudden, like I wake up and my best friend is like it looked like she had like 2 days to live. And I was just like, what's going on? What's happening? And she couldn't walk. She felt like she was going to pass out and all this other stuff. And then we both felt like something was in the house, but we just didn't know. Like we didn't see anything.
Yeah.
Oh, and then before we fell asleep, we heard her aunt's talking in the living room. And so we were like, God, they're still awake or whatever. And so then we fell asleep. And then this happened. She woke up. She looked like she was like really sick. So then I went to her aunt and I said, I think she has to go to the emergency room because she looks really bad. I don't know what happened. I didn't know if it was food poisoning or something happened or whatever.
Right.
So we get to the hospital and she was perfectly fine. So then we were at the hospital and we said to her aunt, we were like, why were you guys up so late? We heard you guys like talking and everything. Her aunt was like, we went to sleep before you guys did. So it was like, who was talking? who was, and then why did she get so sick? It was almost like something didn't want us to be there or whatever. So, and like I said, when she got to the hospital, she was perfectly fine. Everything was okay. Go ahead. I'm waiting for your skepticism. I love it. I love it. Challenge it. No, that's the end of the story. I want to hear your response, and then I'll get to another example.
I mean, as kids, do you just think that you may have just heard something that
we
sounded
were teenagers.
You're still a kid.
Yeah, I know, but it wasn't like we were like, 10-year-olds and we're like, oh my God, but do you hear that noise? Like, we were like teenagers, and we clearly heard her aunts talking.
I feel like there's always a reason for something.
Of course there is, Michael.
Okay, Janine. No, I feel like there's okay. Here are two of my ghost stories. Okay.
You have ghost stories?
I do. I have two personal ones. One of them, I don't remember how old I was, but I went to go do a sleepover with my friend's house, and we were outside late at night. Probably we weren't supposed to be, but whatever. It was a sleepover. It was like probably like 10, 11
bad kids.
Yeah, whatever. So we were outside, and then we saw like a car coming towards us. It's on the road is kind of like, it's kind of a private street. There's only like a few homes at the back of the road. So people coming on that road is not normal. And we saw the car coming, and then there was also someone in the road that was walking that you could see from when the car was coming, you saw their shadow. And then we were like, who's that coming? And then we like turned around to go back inside thinking it was someone that would tell on us or something. And then when we turned around, like normally you see like the light shining, like, coming across. I mean, the car was probably maybe like 200 yards away or so. So kind of far, but not too close. But we didn't see the light anymore. We turned around. There was no car. There was no person. And we were like, what the hell's going on? And we didn't know what it was. But actually there was a trail over there that kids would go to like go make out and like have fun. There's like this trail.
So they turned into
they turned into the trail.
Okay.
And then the other one. But it's one of those things that first you're like, it's a ghost, it's a ghost car, it's a ghost person, whatever. As a kid, that's what you're thinking. But then it's just, nope. It's just teenagers being teenagers.
Yeah.
Or whoever. We assume teenagers. But the other one was back in, I think it was like 6th grade. I don't know if anyone remembers this from my 6th grade, if they listen to me, but so we all were talking about like ghost stories and stuff back then, and one of it was we brought up like the Bloody Mary. Have you ever done Bloody Mary?
I have a story about that. I almost died.
So everyone convinced me that I should do Bloody Mary, and I was like, okay. So I went home. I don't remember what time I did the thing. I went in my bathroom, turned all the lights off, staring into the mirror, saying Bloody Mary 3 times. I stood there.
And the cat jumped in.
And nothing happened.
And the cat came.
Nothing happened.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this was stupid. And then the next day, everyone's like, oh, did you do it? And I was like, yeah, I did it. And they're like, what happened? And like, I don't know if I felt bad or if I just wanted to trick them back.
Oh.
But I told them like this. I made up this whole elaborate story.
Oh, that's not nice, Michael.
That Bloody Mary appeared. We had a conversation. She wanted to like cause all these like problems. She was like coming through the mirror and I was like trying to tell her to stop or whatever. They were like, what? No way. And then they were like, I'm going to try it. I'm like, okay, try it. And then that was like the end of it. No one ever said anything to me.
And what if somebody tried it and Hellraiser got them?
No, Candyman.
But okay.
But so those are my 2 stories.
Sorry. Okay.
As eventful as they were.
Okay. All right. So I'll go into the Bloody Mary thing also. So where me and my brother in the house we grew up in, our stepdad's son, one of his sons died tragically, whatever, the story, whatever. Okay. So a lot of things happened in that house. And there was actually one time when my brother and we had a Polaroid camera. And we took a picture. We were just kind of randomly taking pictures, whatever. Kind of like they do in those ghost hunting things. And they just take random pictures. And in one of the pictures, you actually kind of saw him. Like, it was just like the side of him. Like, he was almost like, it looked like he was walking into the kitchen. And the kitchen was the room that was below the room where he actually did die or whatever. So we saw the picture. Me and my brother were like, holy crap, that's crazy. Was it a Polaroid? Now that I think about it, I'm not sure if it was a Polaroid. I think it was just one of our cameras, and we just kind of got the pictures developed. I can't remember. But it was just random pictures, though, that we were just taking. Because back in the day, do you ever look at old pictures? Well, you guys took really good pictures. But do you ever look at other pictures?
Oh, I got some pictures that
and
it's just like,
what were we taking pictures of? Like, now it's like everything has to be perfect and in the shot and everything.
But again, also, like, we have the phones now, so we can take a picture, look at it instantly, delete it, and then go through. Before, it's like, click,
you went to a concert and you get like one good shot, and you're like, I was there. Why does it look like I was like 50 miles away?
This just cost me $30 to get one photo.
So it's like, why are we wasting it? But so anyway, so we saw him in the picture, showed my stepdad, and he took the picture and he just went in the room. We clearly saw that it was him. So a lot of things did happen in that house, though. Like that was the same house that I was talking about with the dog and
the demon dog, with the feathers.
Yes. So that happened, and then there was another thing.
If you don't know what we're talking about, go back.
Go back. Yep. We'll link that episode down below. There was another thing that would happen. It was like a reoccurring, which two different things happened. There was one that I think it just kind of got into my imagination, and it was. I think I learned eventually where the character came from, but there was an older lady with a yellow dress on, and I think it was actually a cartoon character. But in my mind, she was like a real person. Like she was no longer a cartoon character. Mm-hmm. And so me and my brother had bunk beds. I was on the bottom bunk, my brother's on the top bunk, and for a while she would walk by the like, I would only just see like the yellow jacket or yellow dress and then like her hands or whatever. And so, but it was weird that it was no longer a cartoon. It was like an actual person.
Right.
And so that was like a reoccurring thing in that house also sometimes. And she did freak me out. Then there was another one that was an old like style nurse. And then now that goes into like, I don't know if I was just time traveling or something, because it was a nurse, but she was dressed like an old like nurse, how the nurses had like the hats and the like very like to the old style like uniform or whatever. And she was a really mean person.
Yeah.
And it was actually funny because I actually mentioned that to my grandmother, and my grandmother told me that there was a mean nurse back in Haiti that she would, talk about and all this other stuff. So I don't know if maybe that was also another thing that, I don't know, but that was another person that I would see in that house.
Right.
And those are probably the only two that really like freaked me out or whatever. And then, like I said, I knew that my stepdad's son was there. I never really, besides that one picture, I never really saw him, but I did feel that he was there. And it wasn't because I just thought he was there because, all that happened. I can actually feel that he was still in the house. And I think it was because he died tragically. And
but I mean, is that one of those things though that it also could be just the feeling of of the situation, and then just knowing of the situation in the house? Because like there are people I think that move into like a haunted house or somewhere where a person had died, and then every creak that they hear,
they're like, oh, that's the ghost that lives here.
they automatically assume that it's like a ghost, even though it's like a squirrel that just like is living in the attic.
It's a different feeling. And I think it was just a different feeling. But
so just on the feeling thing, do you ever think though that like there's like when things are like wired wrong in a house, that it can put off those kind of similar feelings and make you feel weird, make you feel there's a ghost or something?
I do.
Okay. Do you think it's anything like that?
I don't think it was that, because I lived someplace else where I think that was the issue. And it was like you have a sensitivity. It's like you're saying like it's not that kind of feeling. I don't really know how to describe it, but it's just like, like somebody is there, but when you turn around, like they're not there. But you know that somebody, like, when someone's walking up behind you, you just kind of turn around, you can feel that person coming up to you. Like you have that feeling that someone is like just there with you, but you just can't see them. That's just kind of the feeling that it is. And then, and also we always had animals, and our animals were pretty, and I know you were saying, animals they're like paranoid, they see things, but we always had cats and stuff like that, and they would I knew when things were around also, because they would react also. But I'm trying to think of another situation. Oh, you were talking about the Bloody Mary thing. So my stepdad, because a lot of the kids like back in the day were talking about all that stuff, and they were like, oh, Bloody Mary and all this other stuff. And so he was like, you know what, we're gonna do it because you keep like, it's freaking you out. I'm trying to tell you it's fake. And I was like one of those kids that I was like terrified of everything and I cried. So he took me, we went to the bathroom, he turned off the light. I was hysterically crying. I was like, please don't do it. Please don't do it. I'm like trying to beg with all of my life, don't do it. And so he said it 3 times. And then we stood there and I just was like, I felt like I was like dying. Like I literally felt like I was dying. And then nothing happened. And then after that we ate ice cream because because I was so like.
So then do you believe that like the whole Bloody Mary is just fake then? If you believe in all the other stuff, do you believe that Bloody Mary is just fake?
I think it's a thing that people just do to like. It's not. I don't think that's how you really call on something. I do think that people can summon things,
like Beetlejuice.
Yeah, but I think that people can summon things, but I don't think that's how it works. I don't think just saying their name is how it works. I think I do believe that people do voodoo.
Well, that's how you summon Beetlejuice and Candyman.
Yeah, I know, but you need to stop saying their names so much.
Who, Beetlejuice and Candyman?
I mean, you're gonna call all 3 of them, and I'm gonna be out of here. Which one is the worst? I don't even know. They're all pretty bad. But
they're remaking Candyman.
Yeah. I don't know. Is the guy still alive? The guy that played the original? Yeah. He is? Okay.
Knock on wood.
Yeah, I know. Ooh, my bad. Sorry. But but yeah, so also the thing with the whole mirror, like, you know how I am with mirrors. Mirrors freak me out. Like, for the longest, I wouldn't even, like, if I had a mirror across from my bed, I would cover it. Because I just think that that's like a portal for people, which I don't know why. But I feel like there's a lot of like, you see your reflection and things can come. And like I said, my brother's probably going to kill me for sharing the story. But I told you that when we were younger.
Well, if he kills you, you can just haunt him.
For real. That's true. But we would talk to, what we said was our other selves in another dimension in the mirror, and we would talk to them and say like, oh, how are you guys doing? I know you look at me and you're just like, oh, it's so sad.
There's a movie that I want us to watch though that has something to do with that.
And when I told you this, you were just like, wait, you guys did what? And so we would talk to the mirror, and it was kids that lived, it was us, but we were living in another dimension, and so they had like a different life or whatever. And so we would talk to them, and I don't remember what was the name of that movie.
It's on Amazon.
Okay, so we'll have to check it out. But so that's why mirrors really freak me out. And I still remember one time I went with my mom and my grandmother. They were looking for a house, and we walked into this one room, and there was a wooden chair, and it was right across from a mirror. And the 3 of us were like, nope, we're not looking at this house anymore. Don't know what was going on there. Like, I don't know why it was right across, but the whole mirror thing, that freaks me out also. But it's because I believe that there are other like dimension things, and there are, sometimes like the reflection of yourself. You can, I don't know. It's just, that some of that.
I think that's more of a psychological thing, that you're more worried about your self-image and how you appear to yourself in the mirror than anything else. Yeah.
I don't think it's I don't think it's that. I think it's
that.
Then
why would you be worried to look at yourself in the mirror?
I'm not worried. I'm not worried to look. No,
like
I'm not.
A dimension.
I'm not worried to look at myself in the mirror. It's more of a, can something try to mimic me and think that it's me? Like, like when you see in those horror movies, like the people, they look in the mirror and then all of a sudden they look away and then their reflection does like that also. That's freaky. I don't know. That's freaky to me.
But see, those are just movies. They're designed
I totally understand that. I totally understand an emotion that. In you. Yeah. But even before seeing those kind of movies, me and my brother, when we would talk to the other kids, we were like young. We were like maybe like 5, 6 when we were doing it. That was before we saw any movies. And I know like sometimes in like cartoons they had, that was another thing why I didn't like Little Mermaid, because didn't she like look in the mirror and with Ursula and all that stuff? Well, there was like and so I actually did not like that even as a kid. But it's like, I don't know. It's just kind of like that. I feel like it starts to get into like that black magic stuff too. But
so I do have another ghost story for you. Oh, it's not my ghost story, but it's someone that someone had told me years ago. And this is like the whole thing of that. I enjoy hearing people's stories. Mm-hmm. So it was when I was in Scouts, and one of our troop leaders, he wasn't like a full-time leader, but he came on camping trips and helped out and stuff like that. So more of just a parent troop leader kind of. But so he told us this one story that when he was younger, like he always had like he always wanted to be like a magician and all this other stuff, and he loved like that kind of stuff and like illusions and everything. One day he got to meet one of his like, I guess, magician idols. I don't remember the guy's name or anything like that. But when he was young, the magician, after when they were talking and everything, he's like telling him how excited he was. The magician gave him a ring and said that this ring will save your life one day. And I guess it's not much of a ghost story. I don't know what it is. But so he was like, okay, and took the ring and wore it like forever. He never took it off or anything like that. And so years later, I don't know how many years later. I mean, we'll just go 15 years later. It didn't really matter for, I guess, the story. But years later, he always still wore the ring. And this one day he was coming out of work and he was going into the parking garage. And this guy tried to rob him and like stuck him up with a gun and everything like that. And he was taking all of his stuff and he was trying to get the ring off his finger. And it wouldn't come off his finger. And it like he kept trying to remove it, wouldn't remove it, and it like delayed the robber and all this other stuff. And when he's trying to do this, there's all this like frustration with the robber and everything like that, but it delayed enough time for someone else to intervene. And then the guy got caught, the police got him and all this other stuff. But apparently that guy that tried to rob him had killed someone like just like 30 minutes before him, also robbing him. And so and then after the guy got, caught by the police, he was able to take the ring on and off, like no problem, like it didn't get stuck at all. And so he couldn't explain it, but like he felt that like the ring saved his life because it delayed him trying to take it off. Because he felt like if the ring came off, the guy would have just killed him and left. Why are you looking at me like that now? This isn't my story.
No, I know. I feel like he watched an episode of Beyond Belief, Fact or Fiction.
Oh yeah.
He told you guys. And he told you guys that story. It's an interesting story, but it sounds like an episode of Beyond Belief. So do you think that, like, what do you think that was?
Oh, I mean, it could have been anything. It could have been that he
was so tense that his
stress levels were so high that his muscles
tensed up,
or maybe his hand was just a little swollen during that day
because it was the end of the day
or that time.
Yeah,
and then after his body like relaxed a little bit, maybe his everything was able to just slide right off his finger or whatever.
Yeah.
But, or maybe the magician was just psychic and knew that the ring was going to save his life.
Is this a trick of the ring? Or if you guys never watched Fact or Fiction Beyond Belief, that show, oh my God, it's great.
But so that's one of the stories that I knew that was told to me when I was younger. And I always thought that it was a cool story.
It is.
I thought it was a very cool story. Whether it's true or not.
It could have been God too.
It could have been anything. It could have been Toto. I don't know.
But yeah, that is an interesting story though.
Yeah.
So, and
I guess
maybe
it's not a ghost story though.
I mean, it's not, but it is one of those kind of, things you can't explain story. That's what it is, and that's kind of what ghosts are.
I feel like I'm missing part of the story, but I don't know.
But
you
heard what the base of it was.
I feel like there was just a small little section I'm not repeating right,
But yeah, that was an interesting story, but yeah, Beyond Belief. Now, but yeah, I've had other instances with things, and things were, like I said, I've seen things, and though that's just my belief, and it's fine that you don't. I think that maybe I don't think you'll ever probably see a ghost, and that's perfectly fine. I don't think that. I
don't know. Maybe I will. Maybe I won't. But I don't think I probably will because they don't exist.
They do exist, but I know it's one of those like seeing is believing kind of things, but they do exist. But some people just they don't need to be, I guess, tapped into that.
You know what it could be though. That it's almost one of those things that, and I'm not going to bring too much religion into this just for a second. We'll go into
another, yeah.
But it's one of those things that people keep saying that Christ will return, and my question is that maybe he's already came back. But no one believes him because he's in a crazy house right now. So it's like
rude.
No. No, listen. So if you see Jesus, but you don't believe he's Jesus, was he really Jesus? So if I see a ghost, but I don't believe in ghosts, was it really a ghost? No, I'm serious. Like, can you think of it that way?
I can.
Okay.
we'll definitely.
People are gonna hate me.
Yeah. Well, we're not gonna get into religion this one because I wanna. We'll go for another 50 minutes on talking about that. But ghosts are real.
Their stories.
Some things can be explained, and like I said, some things, it could be something from your imagination, or it can be something that someone else.
Your brain can trick you.
Your brain can
heavily.
definitely, and that's what I was saying about the lady in the yellow dress. Like it was like a thing. I would wake up, oh my god, the lady in the yellow dress.
I mean, I'll say this. I will say that if you watch something, like sometimes and your brother has this thing that, and he's gonna, but there are times I'll watch a TV show, and then when I go to sleep, it'll be in my TV. The TV show will be in my dream, and I'll be dreaming it, and it's like crazy. You know what I'm talking about with your brother?
Are you gonna say the Mandela effect?
No.
Oh, okay. What was it?
Sonic.
Oh yeah, he was addicted to Sonic, and yeah, it was bad. He would see Sonic running all over the room, and I was like, Marcus, stop playing. Yeah. But I thought you were going to talk about Mandela effect.
No, we're not going.
Yeah, we're not going into that, guys. We're not doing it. Don't ask us to. But yeah, I feel like if you see things, don't think that you're crazy. But if you don't, it's fine. I feel like if you don't have that, if you don't tap into things, because I do feel like I said, I feel like some of them come back because there's something that they have to do, whether it's a job they need to come back to do so they can leave, or they've left and they feel like they have to come back to get someone else. That's, that can be it also. I try not to show disrespect for it because I don't know how, like, I may come back as a ghost one day because I have something I have to, complete or protect somebody. Sometimes they're there just to protect you or just so you feel like, they're present still. I know that sounds I sound very preachy right now, but
why is it preachy?
I don't know. I just feel like it sounds preachy. But as far as like the ghost documentaries and stuff, it's actually funny because I do see stuff like that. And I do experience that. You're actually more interested in those documentaries than I am. And I think because sometimes I feel like it's a little mockery of it. Sometimes like they're just like I was saying, they're talking, they're going into like an old bar, turning off the lights, and they're just like sitting around. I think for me,
it's just entertainment because it's like, when like what we were saying, when they hear things, it's like, ghost just said my name.
Yeah.
Let's rewind that.
Yeah. Yeah.
It doesn't say their name.
Yeah.
We'll listen to it over and I'll be like, I don't think it said Michael.
Yeah.
If it did say that, I don't think it said that.
Yeah.
Though.
I don't feel that like some of these people, they make it seem like ghosts are just walking around talking to everybody and revealing themselves to everybody. And I don't think that's the case either. Because like I said, I've seen things around you. I've seen things around other people and they don't even know it's there. And I'm pretty sure there's other things that I've never seen, and that's around me because it wasn't for me to interact with them or to communicate with them or for them to communicate with me. So I don't know.
I don't know.
What do you guys think about ghosts? Have you ever seen a ghost?
Do you believe in ghosts? Do you not believe in ghosts?
Yeah, and why? And I don't know. Did you ever try the Bloody Mary thing?
But share your stories with us. We want to hear them.
Yeah, we honestly want to hear because it is
despite my skepticism.
Yeah,
like I do enjoy.
And despite me believing in it, like you can still say if you don't. Yeah, believe in it.
I do enjoy hearing them. Yeah, and listening to them.
And maybe I don't know. Maybe I'll try like a haunted trail. I'm not going into a house that's haunted. I'll maybe try a haunted trail first before. Because I know that they have like houses you can go to and like,
I mean, there are houses all over.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd actually go.
And the battleships and all that other stuff.
Yeah. See, I've never done that. Oh my gosh. Do you remember that time when your dad took that picture and there was the ghost?
Yeah.
Yeah. See? He was as clear as day.
Well, we don't know what it was.
It was a ghost. It was a ghost.
So just to explain it real quick. Maybe if my dad lets me scan it in and put it on, I'll put it on the screen. But so they were at the Bratz battlefield in South Carolina, or Brattonsville.
I think it's. We'll have that. Yeah.
But they were there doing a ghost tour. Ironically enough, and my dad was taking photos. They're there. My dad was taking photos, and then my dad took a photo, and when he came back home, there was like this blue outline of a person standing by a tree, and they were saying that no one was in the trees or anything. And my dad took it back over there to show them. And they were like, no one should have been over there. But it was like this outline of this person.
unless they were putting stuff in there so when people took a picture it would show. But I think it was,
he believes it was a ghost.
Yeah.
So
yeah, we have to see if we can ask him if we can put that picture in there.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Anyways, guys, if you have pictures of ghosts, we would love to see those too.
Yeah.
Definitely, you can email them to us. Just at contact@downrightrandom.com, and or shoot them, like message us on Instagram, things like that. Definitely let us know. We're always like interested and curious about different things, and we want to interact with you guys. So definitely share your stories, share your photos. Let us know.
Yep.
So anyways, guys, we hope you enjoyed this episode of Ghost Stories with Mike and Janine. Maybe we'll do ghost stories again. I don't know. We'll have to come up with something.
Yeah.
But I'm sure you may have more.
Oh yeah, I do.
But please like our video to show us that you care about our videos, that we can keep doing these more and more. Definitely put the bell on so you know about future videos.
And check us out on the audio only.
Yep. And if you're
platforms.
listening to us, we're on a whole bunch of platforms. We'll have those down below on our YouTube page, and they're all on our Instagram and things like that. But anyways, guys, we hope you enjoyed it, and we'll talk to you later.